Check this fucking unit out. This was a recent score. Hell of a deal on it. I love it when people don't know what they have. Seems to be a lot of that these days. I guess a lot of old guys with big park stashes are dying off, and their relatives and shit that don't have a fucking clue to what none of this shit really is, and they just selling it off cheap to get rid of it. I think this intake here falls in that category. I paid about $165 for this fucking intake. With tax and shipping, it was $212 to the door. I think this seller looked on eBay, and there's some Chinese intakes that look similar, and they're around $200 or so. So I'm thinking this person thought that's what this was. But what this really is a fucking dart intake. It's the same fucking intake. But somebody took a hell of a lot of time and polished this motherfucker. Every nook and cranny has been polished with like jeweler's rouge and shit. And then after they got it polished and all the logos and shit taken off, then it was chromed. So somebody spent a shitload of money on this fucking thing. And it's professionally port matched. So ports look nice on it too. But it don't say dart on it anywhere. So I guess the guy just assumed it was a generic intake and sold it for about what those generic intakes sell for. But that is a dart fucking intake, and with a lot of work on it. Somebody polished the shit out of that thing. I wouldn't even want to imagine what just the polishing bill costed. Got your big fucking ports. There's how you can tell what it is. There's your Buddy Bar casting. It appears to be a 220-09. Or 6/22/09. So it's a June 22nd, 09 when this intake was cast. That'd be a part number. 2009. this dart intake here. This is an older one. It's early to mid-90s. But they took all the shit off of it. It's got the big ass fucking runners as well. So they started putting the date and shit on them later on. This is a dart intake. It's had some work done to it. And this is a dart intake. Yeah, $212 to the fucking door. I felt pretty good about it. And this camera don't do it justice. That thing is smooth, glass smooth. Really nice. So somebody put some time on that. These dart intakes, they changed over the years. Just a little bit I noticed. Like you look at your older ones, and they're sunk in right here, where your newer ones are straight across. It's one difference I noticed. I have another older one over here. It's a mid-90s, and it's also sunk in. So I don't know what year they started making them like that. And on the back of it, let's get this going on, where it don't on the older one. Still got these ribs, except these been cut for these water lines. So this is that fucking Endurashine coating, powder coating shit on it. And that one is polished and chromed. I couldn't believe I got that thing that cheap. But it probably wasn't his. Probably some young buck selling off his dad's or his grandpa's stash of hot rod parts, and it was just an intake, just another intake to him. Kind of sad, really. All these old gearheads collect all this shit all their life. Then when they die, fucking vultures come out of the woodwork clamoring over who's gonna get the shit. There's the big Brodix with the fucking Dominator on it. That motherfucker tall as a fucking giraffe. Yeah, I believe that'll be the unit going on the 496 build. put my old pickup truck in the mid-9s in the quarter, naturally aspirated, single 4-barrel. And that's going to be the induction to do it. I've made up my mind. But if I don't like it, I always have a few more to choose between. This shit's a fucking sickness. I have a pretty good stash of big block Chevy intake manifolds. And if one Dominator ain't enough, you can always hang a couple on a tunnel ram there. Intakes for days. $212 fucking chrome dark single plane intake. That is one hell of a deal. I felt real good about it. Giddy as a schoolgirl. Every now and then you get them good deals, but usually if it's too good a deal, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. But every now and then, it's true.